anxieties, feel a bit emotionally out of place today. She's stepping out like no one. A beautiful daylight flowetry, practicing diplomacy. You feel so out of place, but it's gonna be a great day, great day. Don't worry, have to worry. It's gonna be a great day, it's gonna be a great day. You ain't got to hurry. Just step back into the state of life. Everything will be alright. Alright, great, great day. Got to leave. She ain't nobody's fool. No. Search for you and die. You will find the answer to the question that's always on your mind. It's gonna be a great day. Don't worry, have to worry. It's gonna be a great day. You ain't got to hurry. Just step back into the state of life. Everything will be alright. Great, great day. It's gonna be a great day. Have to worry. It's gonna be a great day. Things are going to happen to you. Just step back into the state of life. Everything will be alright. Great day.
Good day around the world to everyone. Develop clouds might be coming in your area, but I guarantee don't let that get you down because the sun is rising. Today is gonna be a great day.
Have to worry. It's gonna be a great day. Have to hurry. Just step back into the state of life. Everything will be alright. Great day. It's gonna be a great day. Have to worry. It's gonna be a great day. Have to hurry. Just step back into the state of life. Everything will be alright. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna
Thank you. Welcome to another broadcast right here on SIBN Television and Radio Networks. My name is Marcus Salette. Hopefully, as I approach the microphone, I hope that I can earn the right to speak into your life. We have a lot of content to cover on today. Previously in the program, you heard my brother, my eldest brother, Ulysses Salette, sharing with you that it's going to be a great day. And that's what I want you to impart. Before we start, we want to have a moment of prayer, meditation, and silence. Silence for our ancestral line, those that have gone before us to prepare the way as we stand or sit or work, play, or even just relax in this moment. We realize that we have not achieved this moment alone. We have the ancestral line to be grateful for. And then also for those of you that are believers, not necessarily Christians, but if those of you that like to call yourself that, that is also well. But for the disciples and the believers, we also want to take a moment to honor our God, Adonai, Jehovah Jireh, Yeshua. Amen. And also, for those of you that are non believers, we want to also have this moment of meditation that you would have a run in, as they would say, with the light. Let us have a moment of silence and then prayer. Yeshua, we thank you for this moment. We thank you for the finished work of the cross. We thank you also for the resurrection, for without which we would not be calling your name. We also give you praise and adoration for everything we have. What we have not, we know we have. And Lord, we thank you for the trials, the tribulations that bring us closer not only to you, but to knowing ourselves and connecting with those that love us most. We also ask, Lord, that you will continue to look upon those who have not anyone crying out for them, the prisoners, the seniors, the veterans, and all those that are in power, that your way will have will have the impact, will have the impact of this generation and generations to come. In these we pray, the name of Christ, Adonai Jireh, Jehovah Sitkanu. Amen. Let's get right to work. My name is Marcus Lett. Hopefully, as I approach the microphone, as I said earlier, I hope to earn the right. I will be doing my IG drop directly after this. For those that are not following me on Instagram, please do not forget to follow us on Instagram. We'll talk more about that at the end of the program. Today's thought is getting my action traction quantum change, getting ready for my action traction quantum change. Shout out to my executive producer, Rhonda Mack. I'm going to just call her name. I know she likes to stay in the background. She is one who has been a blessing to this program and made the program even better. As we move forward, we're going to be making some more changes. For those, again, as I said, if you're not following me on Instagram, don't forget I'm going to do a drop there directly after broadcasting on today. We're live and on demand. So please, if you missed the live broadcast, we are on demand uh, on your social media platforms at Select USA TV. And we'll talk more about that at the end of the program. Today, we're going to be talking about, as I said again, my action traction. Why am I calling it my action traction? Because it's time for you to get moving. It's time for you to get up, as it were, in your spirit, in your light, in the in the in the name of your ancestral bloodline, in the name of Yeshua Adonai Elohim. It is time to move. It is time to change the reality that you see and that you sit in right now. And there are things that we're going to talk about today that will help you move forward right now. Someone did it for me. Let me do it for you. When it's done for you, you pass it on to the next person. And that's how we make change, and that's how we make impact. If you are able, please share this broadcast right now to your Facebook page, Twitter, your TikTok, if you're able, your Instagram, and let people know that we are right here doing the wholesome and positive vibe that you may be a better person. All right. And so we're going to silence our phones here, and we're going to make sure that we are not distracted because we got a lot of information to cover on today. Now, if you remember, we did the Triune series some time back. Those videos, those webcasts, as we call them here, webinars, if you will, are already in the on demand archives. Right below me, there are videos, or above me, whichever they are videos that you can go back into. And you can also, I believe, leave your comments, specific comments. Now, when you come to the table, there used to be an old gospel song that says, "Come to the table where the feast has been prepared and it is ready." So when you come to this table of motivational, inspirational, foundational push and thoughts, you want to bring a pencil and a pad, because your brain will not remember everything as you're hearing it with your ears. But if you have a pen and paper, pencil and paper in hand, you can jot down those thoughts that catch you during the broadcast. And then, of course, you will be able to go back and review. And we know that as you review, it may come across differently. The point is that the light may shine. A ray may hit you there. A ray may hit you here from that same various vast light. And so we want to make sure that you're taking full advantage of that which we're offering right here on SIBN television and radio. All right, let's get into today. Remember now, on last session, we talked very succinctly about the quantum move. The quantum move. Now, this move that you're going to make is essential as we ask a central question. As we ask a central question, and that question is the quality of the energy or the momentum proportionate in magnitude to the frequency of radiation that it represents. In other words, does the energy and the momentum proportionate to the frequency by which others may hear, I want to do this, I want to do that, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, I'm sick of this and I'm sick of that. Well, how great is the next reality to you? How great is it important and essential that you move on from here? How essential, how vital, how essential, how destitute, not what's the word that I can't think of the word that I want to think of. Not destitute, but doesn't necessarily mean that I'm just devastated. It means I've got to move from this spot. I've got to move from this place, not just geographically. Some of you may need to move, but mentally, psychosocially, I've got to move from this place. I have found myself stuck. I have found 7 success strategies to get unstuck is what we're talking about today. But I have found myself stuck in the mud, quicksand, if you will. And I need to move. This program today is about movement. It's about action, traction, to build momentum so that when you look at the question and you say, is the quality of my energy and my momentum proportion to the magnitude of the frequency of which I say, I want this change, I want that change, I want to do this, I need to accomplish that. Do they match? And then we also shared with you, if I can bring that screen up, the composite of who you are. The composite of who you are is essential in considering the question. That you're not just, as we talked about in our triune series, you're not just spirit, soul, and body. The depth of who you are, the depth of your composite declares the victory therein. The word says that we are more than conquerors through him. Through him. But we are more. We are more than sinners saved by grace. We're more than human beings that didn't have a place. I need some help right there. We're more than blacks. We're more than white. We're whites. We're more than race. I felt some pushing me in my back. We are human beings composed and comprised of energies, frequencies, and vibrations. Let me say that again. You are composed with your spirit, your soul, and your body. Your body having 11 systems by which they function to keep you alive and allow you to thrive. Your soul, your mind, will, and emotions. And I talked about earlier in other archive videos, the management therein of that will, of that emotions, those emotions, and of that intellect. And then, of course, your spirit, allowing the illuminated light of the Almighty, Elohim, Adonai, Jireh, Yeshua, to come in and to literally lead you, as often quoted in Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd. Elohim is my shepherd. Jireh is my shepherd. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. Yeshua is my shepherd, I shall not want. That word want in the Hebrew, I shall not lack. Though I lack, I shall not lack, because he has provided every solution. Remember what I told you, every solution. If you've been following me on Twitter, if you've been following me on Instagram, following me on Facebook, following me right here on Haps TV, every solution is 2 to 3 to 6 feet away from you. What are you doing looking all over the world for love? And love is right here in the bosom of Adonai, in the bosom of Yeshua. Looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for jobs in all the wrong places, in all the wrong spaces. When everything you need is close by, even in your mouth. There's an old proverb that says, "A man hath an answer based on the fruit of his mouth." So somebody may ask you, "What are you doing today? How are you?" You should answer according to the fruit that you expect to grow on the vine. You should answer according to the fruit that you've had in your mind. You should answer to the degree that you are authentic on the inside, knowing your energy is authentic, knowing your frequency is authentic, and knowing your vibration. Listen, I wanted to offer this. This is not in my notes, but I had this in my thoughts as I was preparing for this broadcast, and we're going to get to the meat of it in a minute. I want you to remember that everything about you is altered by the environment around you, the associations, the fellowships, the soul ties, the food, the air, the presence of those people in the room, the sounds. You can be altered, you can be reshaped, you could be reborn, you can be remade to face the giants in your life. And most of the giants, might I say, is in our minds. Most of the giants is in our emotions. Our response is contaminated. I want you to do me a favor, and we're going to talk about this in a minute. Be prepared to alter the environment for the change you desire. Let me say this again. Be prepared to to change the environment and to offer yourself up as that change agent, not angry, not unforgiving, not bitter, not transactional, not cynical, but be ready to alter the change of your environment, right? So that you may be able to touch, witness, or see before you see the change. You are in charge of the next moment, not me. I'm in charge of my next moment. We talked about owning it last week. We're going to try to get some t-shirts out, some long sleeve t-shirts for the fall and the winter, and some other things out for your wearing, so that you can move forward. But I am responsible for my next reality, not you. Like, after I get off this microphone, I got to go make things happen. And we don't make things happen just by flesh, but I have to tell you that we have to have action for the traction of the reality that I say I want to create. Now, there are those who are watching this program who leave it all up to God. And there are other of those who leave it all up to someone else. But if it is to be within my divinity, I am going to make sure that what I envision next in my life has my full and unadulterated participation. If I have to alter my environment with my sound, if I have to change my environment with my food, if I have to laugh more or even cry to release that which I am sorrowful and grieving about, if I have to increase my air quality, when I do all of these, varying tools are there to ensure that the regenerational cells within my body and that the oxygen that is in my blood fuels me to the superpower that I know I carry, to the change that I know I want. It is absolutely ridiculous to say that I want a change or I want a reality, and I am doing the same thing I did yesterday. I am doing the same thing I did on Monday. I'm doing the same. Why am I doing the same thing over? We know the quote, but we don't know the dope. The dope is that you know the quote, but you won't do the work. You're doing the same exact thing, wanting something different. And those who are about change, those who are about reshaping their next reality, not worried about Sally and Sue, not worried about Mary and Ben, not worried about Shaniqua and them, but those who want to change, who want to invigorate their lives to beyond survival, beyond survival. Now you got to do your homework. You got, as you move forward, there's something in you that pulls you back. I don't know who I'm talking to. As you move forward, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I'm my own worst enemy in me. I said, I'm my own worst enemy in me. I don't know how to say no. I want to please everybody around me, or I want to give everybody a piece of my mind. I mean, I want to tell everybody off. I always want to cuss people out. I always seem to attract the wrong people. If I'm in your life, I stop by to tell you that I'm going to need you to have a mindset of quantum change as I unlock for you 7 strategies to get unstuck. So remember, you are more than a sinner saved by grace. You are more than a graced Christian, a graced disciple. You are energy. You are frequencies. You are vibrations. Listen, raise your vibration this week. I don't have time to get into it. Google how to raise my vibration. Raise your energy this week. Google it if you need help. How to raise my personal energy. Huh? Frequency. If you don't know about that, Google it. How to increase my frequency. Every human being just standing still has enough electromagnetic pulses going through their body to affect the invisible. Just standing. Imagine if you began to speak or write or take notes or put on post-its on your mirror, on your door, in your car. What will be the next reality for you, Shaniqua, Mr. Williams, Miss Dorothy? What will be is up to me. I got to move forward because we have some things that we got to cover on today, and my time is escaping. The human frequency, as I said before, can be said between 65 and 75 hertz minimum. But at the level of regeneration, which is 285 to 396, this is athletic level. Which of us would dare to discipline ourselves physically or athletically? And then which of us would have a fit body and a nice butt and a nice set of breasts and a nice 6 to 8 pack, and our mind is trash? I need some help. We got a lot of people running around on the internet that have a nice looking profile. They have a nice looking profile. But, maybe you might want to ask, what's in the mind of the one whose profile I'm viewing right now? Because somebody might say that about you when they get ready to hire you, when they get ready to partner with you, when they get ready to tell you a yes or a no. Or maybe somebody in the family who thinks they know you might say to you, what can you offer me? I know you. I've been around you. You're no different than you was last month, last year, last season, last decade. I dare you to rise up and increase your frequency and your energy and your vibration so that you're at the level to attract. I don't even want to get started. To attract to you the things you believe you deserve. And you deserve a second chance, a third chance. I need some help. You deserve the meat that is on the table of your future. Why don't you deserve it? You got to go back and look at the archive videos. I don't have time. Today, we're talking about very much the power of quantum change. That's what we're talking about today. We're not talking about anything else today but the action traction. If you want quantum change, then I need you to have quantum action. And we're going to talk about in step one what that quantum action would look like. What does that quantum action look like? What does it look like? We want you to the first step in quantum change. Quantum change is not just regular change, it's how great do you want it change. I felt something push me in my back. Quantum change is how great do you want it? Step one is, first of all, before I go into what the step is, let me tell you that this week, starting this week, this month, I want you to start practicing opposite behavior modification. That means what you would normally do, you're not going to do. You're going to do something different. Step one of action traction, the quantum change, the success strategy is to take inventory. Why do we always brag about what we don't have, but we have no boldness to brag about or know in our conscious thinking what we do have? I need you this week to do one of several things. I want you to get a paper, pencil. I want you to get some index cards, however you want to do it. I want you to take inventory. Number one, take inventory of your life this week. Take inventory. What's in your way? What's in your coffers? What tools are in your, toolbox? I want you this week to take inventory of what it is that you have already. If it's small, as far as God is concerned, Elohim, Yeshua is concerned, Jireh is concerned, Jah is concerned, if it's small, it's still tall. If it seems insignificant, it's still important. I felt something push me. I want you to this week take in inventory. Let me switch this. Let me switch this here, because I want you to see this. I want you to take inventory. I need you to take inventory of what you have. What do you have already in your possession? And I don't want you to take inventory with just the visible stuff. I have a good attitude. Or I have, as one thing I really love is to be thankful. What is in your inventory? I have access to the internet. I have access via Wi-Fi. I have access to 2 phones. I have access to a computer. I have a car, or I have money that I can take a ride down to the health department to re-register myself to be seen for the tooth that's giving me a problem. Don't want to talk to me. You should be tweeting me. You should be tweeting me right there. I'm going to get to the questions at the end. I see a few questions in the chat. So I'm going to come back down in this in the chat here before I close. How do you change your reality? Take inventory. Everyone has been given an amount of rain in their life and an amount of sunshine in their life. I'm asking you to take view of the field. What do you have to work with? You have to list it out. This is not church. This is hardcore, though spiritual, foundational, inspirational motivation. That's what this is. So that means you got to take some paper, and what do you have in your hand? Moses parts the water, but moments before he parts that water, he has a staff. And he's complaining before the Almighty about how bad things are. He's complaining about all the census that are picking up enemies everywhere and all around. And God simply, Elohim simply, Jehovah simply, Yeshua simply, just simply says to him, what is that you have in your hand? My time is almost gone. I'm going to go to step 2, and I'm going to stop at step 2 because I want you to come back next week for the rest of the steps. I've got 7 strategies. Second strategy, take an assessment. Ask, how do you take an assessment? You ask yourself the who, what, when, where, how, and why. The who, what, when, where, how, and why. Why am I? Well, somebody said once you know your why, you're well on your way. Take inventory. That's going to take you a couple of days because you're going to leave some stuff out, sleep on it, and come back and do the inventory again. Then take an assessment. Ask yourself, why don't I have a job? It doesn't have to be a bad answer. I just said take an assessment. Most people, when you start talking to them about motivation, the first thing that, oh, I procrastinate. I never get things done like I'm supposed to. I should have been here last time, and I should have. You're right where you're supposed to be. Take inventory and then take an assessment on yourself. This has to be integral. What do I mean by integral? This has to be honest. If you're not honest in your own process, God help you. I can't do it for you as much as I want you to win. And I know that you are on the winning side and then you're inside the winning circle, even though the algorithms of winning, I did a podcast on that. You can look it up on YouTube under Select USA TV online. The algorithms of winning have already counted me out. I am not supposed to win. I'm categorized. I'm labeled as a loser according to the standards of this world. But I want to promise you this. If you take that assessment and be honest, you're going to find out some other things about yourself that you didn't know. What do I have to work with? Step 1. What about me in the who, what, when, where, and how? Of course, why am I? My time has escaped. It has. Next time you join me next week, I'm going to talk about step 3. Let me give you a preview. I'm going to talk about reprioritizing your life. Let me just give you a prelude, or preface it by saying, what do I need? Every day you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, what do I need to do today? After your moments of greatness and meditation, or after your breakfast, giving yourself some healthy nutrition. Remember, I said food can alter your frequency. It can alter your vibration. If you're taking in foods that have a million GMOs in it, I wonder why you can't accomplish your next reality. If you're not drinking water, I wonder. I'm just saying, have you short-circuited yourself on the base of how you were made and composed? Step 3, we're going to talk about next week how to reprioritize your life. How to say, we're going to cover how to say no to folk. Sure, let me give you a couple of affirmations as I get ready to go. And then we'll bring Ulysses back with it's going to be a great day as we close out. I want you to stop and think about your associations and your fellowships, your connections, your movements toward people, even your withdrawal from people. And I want you to ask yourself, is knowing this person, is fellowshipping with this person, is hanging out with this person, if going with this person, if loving this person, healthy for me or devastating to my future? Please don't step into the arena of control and say I want to change them or they're coming around. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you, because if you are the love to yourself, the love that you want for yourself will come. Why are we loving quote unquote other things and other people outside of the love we should have for ourselves to attract other things and other people? Let me get to my questions real quick. Someone asked, how do you find your frequencies? Right? Or I want to say, know what chakras to charge. That's something you can Google. We have this great thing called the internet, this great thing called Google or Yahoo or whatever Bing or whatever search engines you want to use. My point is that that chakra and those frequencies are part of who you are. And I know for myself, I had chronic pain, talking about the root chakra there, I believe I can say that. I had chronic pain on a daily basis. I've been in at least 9 no fault to me accidents. And my frequency was lowered because I succumbed to my pain. My time is out. I'm going to go to 45 for those you dare to stay with me. If not, see you on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My frequency was so, you know your frequency is low when your energy is low, because energy and frequency have to almost be on not the same plane, but almost the quality of that have to be equal, nearly equal, within the vicinity of equal, normal, maybe above normal. My energy was zapped because of my chronic pain. And how many of us have chronic pain and think it's an ailment of just the flesh or the physical? No, it's something connected to the spiritual and the metaphysical, if you will. Change your mind, change your time. Change your attitude, change your altitude. When I think on the things that feed me, when I think on the things that are healthy for my forwardness, when I think again, managing my emotions, managing my anger, managing my bitterness, managing my unforgiveness, managing me is the job in and of itself. When I'm able to manage me, I can begin to massage and form a new reality as I go forward. Listen, follow me on Twitter if you can. Do the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4, and the 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8th, and the 8th to the 9th to the 10th. Why? You can't just do one thing. For those of you that are just going to church, you just can't get a word of inspiration on Sunday. For those of you who are just into education, you can't think your way through this. For those of you who are in grinding, you can't grind your way through this. Listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done. I was sharing with the executive producer an idea. Let's say your next steps for this week equal 125,000 physical steps. And you get to 62,399 steps, and grace brings the answer. The angels bring the answer. The ancestors rejoice in you as you anticipate the answer. That saves all of those other steps. But if you are not ready and you are not committed to those 120,000 plus steps for the task that you need to accomplish, then why would you see the benefit of grace? Why would you see the gift of grace and you're doing nothing but making excuses? Listen, I want to encourage you. Save your explanation for the relevant conversation. This is a time of action traction. This is a time for quantum change, a change that is as big as I can contribute to, a change that is as large as I can imagine. Remember now, for those that are believers, Yeshua, Adonai, Jireh exceeds what we imagine. Jireh, Yeshua exceeds what we think. But if I'm not thinking on anything, there's nothing to exceed. You and I have the power. We have been taught up to now that God would do it. We have been taught that if we spoke his word, then he would show up. No, 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 no. The speaking of the word was designed to get all the congruent parts of who I am and what he made in me, the visible and the invisible, to press me forward to create as he created. For I am in his likeness and in his image. And on this earth, I remain, quote, a God of my circumstance, not the God, but a God, because I am him represented. The word says that I am a co-laborer with him. I'm not working by myself. I have him on the inside of me. I have my ancestral line. And of course, if they can say the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac, I can call forth and give God praise for my ancestral line that is rooting for me and cheering for me and telling me I can do it. It doesn't matter the small task or large task. Every task got to be completed for the reality to come. Whatever it is. And let me forewarn you that money comes to a mind that has a plan. If you don't have a plan, then why should money come? Money for your car to be fixed, money for your light bill, money for your taxes, money for your... You have no plan. So why would extra money outside of your paycheck, money outside of your dividends, money outside of your investments, why would anything else trickle or come or any more favor come your way when you're not working the plan? Plan the plan and then work it. That's my time. I'm Marcus Select. Follow me if you can on Twitter, whatever you do. Remember, these are the things that we talk about on Sunday Morning Thoughts.
Anxiety